Computer Tech 2996, and I'm bringing you guys another video. So I did a video on a MacBook Pro 13 with Retina display unboxing, but I didn't get into much detail. So today's video I'm going to go with interior and exterior of the computer, or laptop I should say, and to basically do a brief overview of everything that this computer has. So let's start off with our, I would say, right side of the computer, and I'm just going to try and make sure that we get a close focus, although my camera seems to be a little wacky when it comes to autofocusing, but we will try our very best. So on this end here you have your SD card slot, which yes, I did test it out and it is an SD card slot. It does fit it perfectly fine with no issues whatsoever. Right next to it we have an HDMI port, which, oh, there we go, we are slightly focusing. We've got an HDMI port, which if you don't know what that's used for, basically from cable, which is going to plug in right there, it's going to go from your computer to your TV so you can project your favorite images. There we go, perfect. And then right next to it on this end, as you can see, we have our USB port, where you can plug in a USB cable and a USB, obviously. Beautiful. So on this end now we have the magnetic charging port, which yes, your charger now is magnetic, so that's very cool. 2 Thunderbolt jacks, which basically I will explain what the use of the Thunderbolt jack is going to be used for, and basically what kinds of things that you can use it for. And right next to it we have another USB port and a headphone jack, as well as 2 mini mics going in there. So let's get into these Thunderbolt jacks for you guys here. I won't go too much into detail, but I will go with these specs. So we've got some video capturing or playback that you can do with some cables from here. You can also do some SCSI, and if you're wondering what that is, like, so USB and FireWire, I guess, if you probably don't remember that, it's kind of like from like a while back. And then we have other PCI, like express cards, that you can do with this as well, which I will show you in a couple of images in another video. And then an H.264 compression, so it's a kind of compression that you can do with a device. And then you can do like super fast, you can do amazing super fast graphics with this, which I thought was pretty cool, if you ask me. And then you can also use kind of like, I guess it's a burning disc device to do a lot of cool burning with a lot of devices, and there's a whole lot of things that you can do with these 2 Thunderbolt jacks. So that's a kind of little spec of what is on this side, and basically what kind of things you can use the Thunderbolt jacks for if you weren't really too sure with it. Here we have the little, I would say, nudge, or what you call it, to open up your computer. And because of the case that I have on my computer, we have this little spot here, which basically is kind of a bit annoying to me, but all in all, it is pretty decent, and it's nice just the way it is. So on my case, I do have these things, which previous MacBooks did have some cooling vents right under here. But of course the one I own does not have the cooling vents here, so I just discard that. On this MacBook we do have some ventilation here on both ends. Actually we have 1, 2, 3 on this end, and I believe on the opposite end we have 1, 2, because we also have a gap for all the other ports that I did show in my other video, or should I say this video. So right over here, what I believe is a bunch of cooling vents seems to also be your speakers, because that is where your sound comes from, if you do wonder. It's out of these things, which also, when you open it, it comes out from the inside, not from the outside, if you were wondering. Go ahead and open up our MacBook, and we'll get into the interior now. We're just going to let it turn on. I did forget to mention that this does have your trackpad, if you want to call it, and this does have force touch, so it's different ways that you can get different things. For example, 2-finger is significant to something else, and you have 3-finger, which I did figure out something interesting about this, and 3-finger on Word and Pages is significant to finding the definition of a certain word that you desire. So if you 3-finger touch on top of a word that's highlighted or some sort, you can find a split definition to it, which is pretty cool. And we also have our keyboard, which I did add a little keyboard pad here, but it is a black lit keyboard, like I said, so it will light up, and you also have the controls for it as well. You have here your brightness controls, you have these controls. This is for your dock, this is also for your standard screen to go into the main apps that you want to choose, and then here's the brightness up and down for your black lit keyboard. We've got a whole bunch of play, pause, stop commands that are right over there. And then right next to it we have our mute and unmute button. We have our volume down and our volume up button. And of course, because this thing is screwed up, it shows up as the eject, which is technically just the power on and off button. And of course, all Macs come with your command button, which can be very handy for many different types of commands that you will need to do. Usually you will go through the setup process. In this case, I am not, so I'm just going to go ahead and log in by entering my password. Depending on where you get your MacBook, and basically when you get your MacBook, most MacBooks will be running Yosemite. It could vary from different devices, but basically you could also get OS X El Capitan. I did come with Yosemite and then upgrade to OS X El Capitan. You will have a plain screen, you will not have any of these icons here or here, and you will have this pop up on your screen, which will be intricated, which I did to magnify and a whole bunch of other stuff. Let's get into the specs. About Mac. Oop. So here's our Mac info. Basically, it'll tell you you're running. That was my update. Retina 13-inch early 2015, a processor of 2.7 GHz, Intel Core i5, memory of 8 gigs, and basically I have an 1867 MHz DDR3, and we have some graphics here, some Intel Iris graphics, about 600,000 and 1536 megabytes, and basically all the other stuff is in there as well. And you can just do some system updates and whatnot. You can also look at the displays, storage, which is slowly running out, some support in case you need some help, and some services. Now you can hit up your system preferences in 2 ways. Number 1 is going down to your bar and hitting system preferences. Number 2 is by jumping into your little Apple logo here and hitting up system preferences, and you get all these amazing preferences where you can actually edit magnification of your dock, desktop in general, and all that kind of stuff. And you can also add new users with Apple IDs. If you guys loved this tutorial, don't forget to give it a like, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! For example, this, and then hit that 1 button next to it, and you can make it big. Cool, you can even change